Patrick, welcome. I'm assuming you can hear me. I think I got the issue fixed. Google Hangout just had a third time. A third attempt was a magic number, but I'm assuming you can hear me. Let's see, Patrick, what you're saying. We already knew the negative $500 drop would happen. It's only natural for BTC to breathe after such a bull run. Banksters trying to panic. The sheeps. Uh, Probably going down to resistance at 1840. Well, yeah, we'll definitely take a look at that. I did have a conversation with ECS in regards to this. All right, perfect, loud and clear. And yeah, I apologize about the little issue, but considering everything was making a move to the downside, I figured I would do this live stream, but I really didn't have any intentions at all. But it is a crazy drop, and thank you for joining. I do appreciate that. So earlier today, when I did this video, we drew out a couple areas of support for it, and let's go ahead and get a little granular on this chart, half-an-hour chart. And it definitely broke below the initial resistance. And that initial resistance that I mentioned earlier was that about 2,300, and it broke through it with a vengeance. Yes, now it is coming back up to that level to test it and see if it'll hover above it. And if it can't maintain that 2,300 and hover above it, there's going to be more downside. And this chart is a perfect indicator of what's really to come. And let me zoom out a little more to 1 hour. But if we really were analyzing this chart, we would have seen a clear sign of a major sell-off that was going to happen. And I think I got to go to a 2-hour chart. So the first one would be in the first circle, and this is the exact same chart that I had earlier from the earlier video that I posted. But that was the first basic clear indication that, okay, you know what, there could be trouble in the horizon. Somewhere along the road, there is going to be trouble, because really, I mean, it was a nice little drop that happened within 2 candlesticks, so 4 hours there. And when we see these type of drops where they're dropping very rapidly but coming back up, it's not healthy. It's just something that, it's gearing up for a bigger drop. And as it gets going up higher and higher, it is going to have a bigger of a drop. So, that was the first indication that, okay, you know what, let's definitely keep an eye on this and see if it's going to have a bigger drop. This next circle here, basically, I mean, this is a healthy retracement. This is not a major sell-off. It's a healthy retracement. It needs that, like, Patrick just said, it needs to be able to breathe and then start slowly but surely, taking baby steps to get back up to the level that Bitcoin should really be at. Second indicator would have been this third circle here. The drop for that was about 3 candlesticks, so 6 hours there. And as we can see, it's definitely bigger than the first drop. And then, of course, the newest indicator is just the amount of volatility that's happening right in this, basically in this range, aside from the circle. So let's get rid of the circle there. But basically from where it hit the 2,800, it tapped out of the 2,800 and just violently came down to that 2226. I mean, basically within 4 hours, it was down to that level, and it gave up a huge chunk, $600, of its gains, and that's a big drop within 2 candlesticks. And of course, a little uptick to kind of trap some of the longs, some of the baby bulls, to kind of trap them, and then of course they dumped it. So this is a little scary at this type of price action that we're seeing from that 2806 to its current level now. There's definitely some heavy selling that's happening, but they're not unloading everything to cause a drastic drop to that possibly $1,000 level. Now I don't think it's going to drop to 1,000, but if this really doesn't have a more of an upward movement, taking baby steps, but having violent dips with these large candlesticks, that's more trouble in the long run. So basically, I mean, we still have that. What is it, 1650? I think one of my resistance kind of came off, or one of my support. So the other support was, from what I remember, I think 2000 was that support. And if it breaks that, it's got to break that level. But man, honestly, I think this thing could really test that 1800 level. I mean, this upswing that is happening now, it's nothing special. I mean, that's a pretty ugly candlestick. Unless it closes up to the top of the high, then we'll have a nice hammer forming there. But if this thing closes close to where it's closing now, or where the current candlestick closing price might be, yeah, that's a bad indicator. We don't want to see a T. We definitely want to see more of a full body green candle to the upside. And I'm hoping the video is clear because it is buffering on my end. But yeah, thank you to anybody that's joining. And if you haven't done so already, please click on that subscribe button as well as the post notification. I do these videos Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, normally from 9:30 a.m. Eastern time zone to 11:30 a.m. Eastern time zone. But if the market does tank and I'm at my computer and the ability to do a live stream, I will definitely do them. So this is kind of a special live stream. But unless you have that post notification button clicked on, you probably wouldn't be notified that I'm actually doing this live stream because it was kind of last minute thing. Bob, welcome. There are a couple UK users. I don't know if they're on here right now, but Logan's Run, Danny Baker, they're normally on here, and they're from the UK. Yeah, I don't think anybody from the UK is on. Yeah, Coinbase has definitely been having issues. This isn't the first time that they're rejecting credit cards, even just for the verification process. But yeah, let me try to get to these comments, and then we'll take a look at some of the other cryptocurrencies in the sense of Ethereum, Litecoin, Ethereum Classic. Because honestly, I mean, they're all coming down, and they're all coming down to a level that should not really be coming down this fast. And that's really the scary part, is how fast they're really coming down. Yeah, I mean, it's having nice little bumps here and there, but not enough to indicate that, what, this is the bottom. This is definitely not the bottom at all. And this is just a start to get to the bottom. Let's see, Patrick, what are you saying? I think crocodile teeth. Let's see. This tooth were just growing too much. We're back to track the trend again. Yeah, but what is it going to trend? Is it going to trend downwards until it reaches that level where everybody's going to support it and think that Bitcoin is completely undervalued? At what price do people think Bitcoin is undervalued? I know some of the die-hard cryptocurrency fans. I mean, they think it's completely undervalued on anything under 5,000. But retail investors that are coming in, or people that have been watching this chart, at what price is it really undervalued? To me, personally, I would say if it gets anywhere between 1,000 and 1,500, that's completely undervalued. But I think right now we're kind of sitting in that happy medium of Bitcoin, really to try to determine what its actual value is, what is its price, and it has to consolidate in order for the charts to really tell us what its initial price is, and then start grinding up higher. But these violent drops and violent, upticks are a little scary, and it's just basically a better indicator of what's to come. Oh, man, I'm missing a lot of these comments. Stay away from Coinbase at the moment. They are shady. Yeah, to an extent. They have their benefits, pros and cons. Yeah, Patrick, it should have scared a lot of people, or it should at least been in the back of their head that, wow, you know what, we're getting up too high, way too quick, especially within the past month. I mean, from May 5th to today. I mean, it's up from 1,500 to 2,800. I mean, that's huge, and that's not healthy forward at all. For a long-term investor, that's really not what you want to be seeing. I mean, even if we go back to, let's see how far we can go. 1170, and that was on April 17th. So I mean, even if we just say May 1st, it was 1436 was the low. So from 1436 on May 1st to today being the 26th, for it to get up that high to 2,800, it's scary. And that's basically, it's mass media that has pumped up Bitcoin. Once they start covering it, and people that are not familiar with Bitcoin, see that mass media is covering it like crazy, um, it's just going to keep going up higher and higher because people are just piling money in. and then here comes the crash, basically. So on the 4-hour chart, yeah, it's looking pretty ugly. Let's get a kind of a better overall view on the 1-day chart. Yeah, definitely a nice rise. I mean, I'll definitely give it that. But no major corrections. Nice little correction here. Looks like some sort of a consolidation. I mean, the range is pretty high, of course, but on the daily, it does look like it's a consolidation. And then the violent tick up to that 2,800. So we could see 3 to 4 more days of a red candlestick. So really, we got to keep an eye at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. is kind of when the day changes over, especially on Coinbase, to see exactly how that candle does open up. Um, and if it does open up below, and actually like below the closing price, that's going to be an indicator of further drops to come, unfortunately. But if it opens up above its closing price, and it opens up a good amount where it gaps up, then we'll have to really take a look at the price action on the 15 minutes, 30-minute chart, to determine, okay, what's going to have a nice little uptick, maybe back up to the 1500. But as of right now, I mean, the indication within the past 2 days is, the current candle's closing has opened up below the prior candle's closing price. But I mean, this thing could easily gap and have a big gap. All right, let me see if I can get to some of these comments. And thanks, guys, for joining. I appreciate it. This was kind of a last-minute thing. Like I said, if you haven't done so, click on that subscribe button, as well as the post notification, so you don't miss these special live streams that I do that are kind of spur of the moment. Awesome. I'm glad you added me to the notification last week, and yeah, man, as long as you click on that notification, YouTube should notify you instantly. Rocky Mountain High Speed, welcome, buddy. And thanks ECS for whatever question you were able to answer for Rocky Mountain High Speed. Yeah, everything's going to be down today. Everything is going to be in the red. I don't think we're going to have too many things in the green. But I think I saw Doji in the green. Let's take a look real quick. Michael, 7 p.m. Eastern time zone, so New York time zone. Aloha from Hawaii. Welcome. All right, let's take a look and see kind of what's trending, gainers and losers. It probably looks the top 20. Light Dog. Somebody mentioned Light Dog, and I really didn't have a chance to research it, but they did mention it. It's definitely being pumped. 193%. That's crazy. That is insane. Let's see, where's it traded? POS wallet. Yeah, POS wallet's probably the only one that I've heard of. Yeah, I don't know if I would trust the other ones. Yeah, not a problem. Honeri, I think that's how you pronounce the name. OHNRI. Yeah, not a problem, man. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Rocky Mountain High. Thanks for sharing that, man. I appreciate it. And for the people that are watching this really after the fact, Rocky Mountain High Speed just basically indicated he was a BC hater, Bitcoin hater. when he could have probably gotten in 7 years ago. And he's been stacking precious metals for years. Live and learn. Yeah, I should have got into this in 2013 when I heard about it. I didn't buy it until 2014, and I didn't buy much. And then it dipped to like 160 bucks when I bought it at 500. So I kind of gave up on it too. I was kind of out of sight, out of mind. But yeah, I mean, you're still early. It's only 8 years old. You're still new to the game, so everybody's new to the game. To be honest with you, 8 years old is not it's not that old at all. I mean, it's just starting second, third grade. Suggestions on buying more BTC. I mean, this could be a dip, but I wouldn't say this is a dip to get in right now and go all in. But it might not be a bad idea to just maybe add a little bit, maybe buy a half at a time, depending on what kind of crazy major dip that we're actually going to get. Pivx is up almost 41%. Yeah, I mean, these aren't going to be accurate because they're not really using all the exchanges to come up with a price. Vericoin down. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of coins that are down, and they're all down more than 27%, basically. A good amount of them. But yeah, BTC futures also down 17% in comparison to the actual BTC in price, down 7.7%. So we'll also have to take a look and see if that number gets higher. If that BTC futures gets higher and higher in the negative, yeah, there's going to be more of a sell-off. People are losing faith. Futures basically kind of indicate the price movement, and when they're bullish, it's positive, and when they're bearish, it's definitely negative. So that 17%, we'll have to really keep an eye on and see if that 17% will increase to something higher. Because if it does, this little pullback that it's having, or a little uptick from 2,052 bucks to 2,300 bucks, could just be a fake out. Even though that's a pretty significant gain, I mean that's pretty nice. I mean, so if anybody caught that bottom and was just looking to kind of trade it, yeah, it's not bad. I mean, even if you bought one, those are pretty nice gains. But yeah, I think there's more to this dip than currently what's already done. But it's going to have these little fake outs, and it just depends on how far this little fake out is going to go. Yeah, green light. I mean, there's a lot of things I could bring down the price, and I think Roger Ver can definitely bring down the price. Yeah, I don't think customer service on Coinbase will get any better. Kofa, I highly doubt it. Yeah, they're fighting the IRS right now, so they don't have enough money to hire actually good customer service reps that are going to be on top of it and get back to your issues. But I mean, aside from profit takers, I mean, what else could really be driving this market down? I mean, what speculations do you guys have, or might have heard of the story? Because I mean, this drop kind of resembles with the ETF decision being declined, and I know the ETF is it was up for review, so I don't know if anybody has any news. I haven't really researched it to see when they were actually going to come up with a decision on that ETF. Because somebody could be selling the rumor that it's not going to be approved. So Patrick, why Sunday? Yeah, I mean, hopefully it rebounds soon for anybody that's a long-term investor, um, or if you're looking to get in, you found your entry price. Yeah, Patrick. I started a Kraken account. I haven't really played around with it. I didn't like the layout, but I need to play around with the charting system. But I couldn't seem to find where their charting system was because they did buy out CryptoWatch, and they're supposed to start integrating CryptoWatch into their trading platform. Green light, not a problem, man. Thank you for joining, and I'm glad you appreciate these videos. And if you haven't done so, click on that subscribe button, which I think you already have, as well as that thumbs up. But yeah, feel free to, once these videos are uploaded, feel free to share them with anybody that you like or any social media sites that you might have. All right, 2350. It's not bad at all. I mean, $300 within a matter of less than 45 minutes. $300 in less than 45 minutes. See, this is the part that scares me. Is it needs to gradually grind up to that. Um, I mean, it might hit 2400 within a matter of 45 minutes. We'll see where the next candlestick closes. And I'm sorry, I wasn't sharing that screen with you guys because I'm looking at a different monitor. But let me go ahead and get Coinbase up, the actual chart. Yeah, Polonix is definitely having issues today. I think they had minor issues yesterday. They had a minor outage that happened. Um, I haven't really looked. Let me try to get into GDAX. Yeah, it is hard to buy BTC in Hawaii considering Coinbase pulled out or they didn't get their license approved, unfortunately. Yeah, no issues right now with GDAX. I'm able to switch from one chart to another chart. All right, I might be, if we get a nice tick up here on Ethereum, I might be getting out of my position. That dip to 140 is pretty nasty. And I bought this yesterday at 177. Yeah, it's definitely having issues with that Coinbase chart. Right now, I'm seeing the price of Bitcoin instead of getting the price of Ethereum, especially on the actual candlesticks. They all found a nice bottom, and then now they're all on the uptick. I mean, they're just basically following each other. But yeah, CryptoWatch is even having issues today. Dave, welcome, buddy. And yeah, you're absolutely right, man. The channel is growing. I mean, it's getting like 20 subscribers on a daily basis, sometimes more. And like I said before, it definitely motivates me to keep doing these. So thank you so much for everybody that's subscribed. But yeah, I know my chart isn't working for you guys for me to be able to share it with you for some reason. Let me try to open up a new window. But we're going to take a look at Ethereum, but still kind of keep Coinbase open on a different monitor. And I'm sorry, not Coinbase, Bitcoin. And if it decides to make a different turn, then I'll go ahead and switch to that chart. But Ethereum is coming right back up to where I actually purchased it. But that dropped to 140 though. That's a little scary, considering it was just at high of 217. All right, now as long as Coinbase is working properly, to be able to go in and put in a sell order. I think I might have a sell order already. Litecoin's doing you dirty for 2 weeks now. Oh, dude, I'm sorry to hear that. I am sorry, man. Yeah, Litecoin has had some major up and down swings, and I mean, if you can catch them right, having that swing down to 25, 23, going back up to 28, swinging to 25, going up to 29. I mean, those are pretty nice profits. But yeah, in those type of swings, it's hard to kind of just hold on. So you're saying Rocky Mountain, that total market cap is shrinking while Bitcoin's market cap is growing. And we're gonna remember too, a lot of money has come out of alts, and it's either on the sideline or they're waiting for something major. But I mean, these are just. I mean, if we really look at them granularly, let me switch out of this chart, and we'll look at the 15-minute chart. All right, so for it to go up this high, this quick, within a matter of less than 45 minutes, this isn't healthy either for it. Hitting that 2052 and getting right up to 2380 almost. It needs to just slowly but surely, like some of these candlesticks up here, basically. Let me put a circle there. In order for this thing to be healthy and sustain a nice growth, it needs to have these type of moves. And then move sideways, have a little correction, move sideways. But when it's coming up this high, this fast, once it starts dumping, it's going to dump and it'll break that 2052. All right, sorry guys, I had to mute that for a little bit and take care of something. But it's still sustaining this nice move up. But it's definitely a trap. Definitely a trap. Let me see if I can get an overall picture. Yeah, LTC futures are pretty high. I mean, negative 20%. That's very high. Yeah, we got some people losing faith. That's what it is with some of these cryptocurrencies. They couldn't stomach the first drop. Now I don't think they can stomach the second drop. I mean, Ripple's still maintaining. That's because they drove that to the ground, down to 19, under 20 cents. But yeah, with Ethereum that I'm in right now, once it gets above 177, I'm going to definitely manage that heavily. And any sign of a downtick, I'm probably going to sell if Coinbase isn't isn't having issues. Yeah, for Ethereum Classic, it's got to get above that 183, 184, then to possibly get right back up. If this is a true move, to the upside, and if it's a move to get back to all-time high, then she's got to get over that little hump of 184 and then get over the 200. But if she overcomes that 184 and she hits the 200, 199 would be my selling price. All right, 15-minute candlestick on Coinbase is turning red. Let's see if she ends up engulfing the previous green candlestick. And I mean, and it's healthy to have a red candlestick. That's perfectly fine as long as it's not engulfing the prior green candlestick. And if it engulfs it, it's just it's a little fake out. 45 minutes of upward tick. And if you guys aren't able to see my screen clearly, I do have 3 charts up. I got BTC on Coinbase, Ethereum on Coinbase, as well as Litecoin on Coinbase on the 15-minute chart. Yeah, they're definitely presenting some good buying opportunities, especially if you're already able to catch some of these lows. I haven't even looked at Bitfinex price to see, how low things have gotten on Bitfinex, but I'm sure they're pretty low. Let's see, 2240 for BTC, 165 for Ethereum, 1469 for Ethereum Classic, Zcash 197, Monero 38, Litecoin 26, Ripple 27, and then you got Dash at 117. Yeah, there was really no reason for Dash and for Monero to have gone up that high. All right, let's see if it's going to engulf that previous candle. Let me try to zoom in so you guys can see it a little better. And I'm sorry, I'm really not looking at the comments. So if there's an important question and I end up missing it, I do apologize. But feel free to leave a comment once this video does get uploaded. And I do my best to respond to every comment that's left on the video. Volume is pretty low though for this current candlestick to almost engulf the prior candlestick. Volume is nowhere close to being half of the prior candlestick's closing volume. So we're looking at 226 in volume currently, 266, 267. The prior candlestick volume was just a little under 1,000. So it's going to engulf it basically on very low volume, which isn't bad that it's happening on low volume and not on tons of volume. Man, these patterns are exactly the same. It'd be hard to only trade these 3 and be able to go from one cryptocurrency to another because all 3 of them are doing the exact same thing. But almost a $40 increase for Ethereum on Coinbase. All right, let me see if I can get to some of these comments. I thought Bitstamp had Ethereum on there, Dave. If they didn't, they're pretty late to the game, especially for the clients that they have. Yeah, green light. You might need a VPN, and if you had a VPN, you should be able to use Coinbase or really any exchange. Bob, welcome, buddy. You're asking which exchange has the broadest range of cryptos at the moment. I would say, Polonius and Bittrex. If you guys know of other ones, definitely let Bob know. I don't know if ETH is going to hit 250, Dave. Patrick, I'm sorry. Um, not today. Not with this crazy sell-off. Unless gradually, slowly but surely, they all start grinding to the upward and not have a crazy parabolic move up. I mean, it's got to be able to sustain this type of growth. And going up to 2,800 for BTC, that's not a healthy growth. That's that I'm a millionaire or I'm a billionaire. I'm greedy, and I'm gonna buy up as much as I can and pump it as much as I can, and then I'm gonna start dumping. That's the type of move that was. Dave, yeah, and if anybody's interested in our general chat room Slack that we have, you could definitely on the bottom of this video, there's a link to our website. Click on that website, sign up for our mailing list. Excuse me. And we'll be giving away membership to our general Slack. Now, it's not our trader Slack chat room, where majority of the traders are sharing some great ideas, but it's just kind of like the water cooler hangout to chit chat about anything and everything. And then you do have ways to upgrade that. So you can upgrade that, and we'll be sending out information on how to upgrade it. But once a week, I will be giving away a membership to the actual trading room chat room. And to be able to get that free membership, all you got to do is basically leave a comment when this video uploads. And as long as your comment has the most likes, for that week on the 3 videos that I'm uploading, I'll pick one person that has the most likes on all 3 of those videos, and we'll give them a free membership to the actual chat room. So the best thing to do is leave a comment and then get your friends and families to like that comment. So the more likes it has, the better chance that you'll have, especially for that week. So every week, I'll pick one person that has the most likes, and we'll get them a free membership. But you can definitely sign up to our general Slack chat room, and everybody is welcome to come to that room. All right, things are slowing down. Volume is definitely slowed down. So we'll see what happens after this candlestick closes. And I'm not really looking at the order book to see where a lot of these crazy orders are happening. Actually, let's see if I can see it on for Ethereum. 732 at a dollar, yeah, I wish. 172. But a good amount of buyers are stacking up too. 434, 368, 260. I mean, really, we only have just that one big seller of 732, and then another one for 127, 109. Are bots in play? Yeah, to an extent. They're not fully taking control, at least not that I can see. But they're there. Namish, welcome. I don't know what you meant by she. I don't know if I missed a comment from you or not. Let's see. It doesn't seem like I missed a comment. Yeah, green light. You got to be careful about margin. Oh man, especially if you're using margin on all different types of coins. Yeah, I'm very careful when I do. I do utilize margin. There's nothing wrong with it. I just try to utilize it in moderation. But yeah, margin can definitely blow up your account. And when I mean blow up, I don't mean blow it up in the right way where you're making tons of money. Blow it up in the wrong way. Yeah, I always tell people to be careful. Never buy at the top. Wait for a pullback to happen. When you're buying at the top, that's that FOMO, fear of missing out, and tons of people do that. But yeah, if it starts going up like crazy, the best thing to do is walk away. And I've done it before. I've mentioned it in a couple of my videos. It's just walk away from it, come back, and compose yourself. Yeah, Tracy. I don't seem to have an issue with GDAX. I would definitely not use Coinbase. So I don't know when you say Coinbase if you actually mean GDAX. I try not to do anything on Coinbase at all. Green light. That's a pretty good question that you're asking. Let me make sure I don't miss that question. For some reason, everything just got scrolled down to the bottom. I missed your question somewhere. But you asked basically, if you bought at, let's just say, point 0.1, and then you bought more at point 0.2, does that even out? In order for it to even out, you have to purchase the same amount that you purchased previously. So if I purchase something at point 0.2, let's just say 100, and then it drops to point 0.1, and I purchase, actually, I'm sorry, you have to purchase double, and I purchase twice the amount, then yeah, that should lower it down to half, if my math is correct. Dave, I don't know if I missed a comment about what exchange was adding LTC. Did you say Kraken? Yeah, for them to be adding Litecoin and Ethereum this late, it's not an exchange I would want to use. Crypto, you bought some ETC with that dip, nice, and that's a perfect opportunity. Wait for a dip to happen, and then buy a little bit, and if it dips more, buy a little more. Add to your position on the dip to lower your cost average. Bob, that's a great idea, man. And that's definitely a strategy to use when things have kind of bottomed out. Once we get out of this possible, or bear market, and things start to level off, yeah, I mean, pick out your favorite altcoins and start investing a little bit in them. The bots are struggling. Yeah, and I can't see every. Let me try to look at Bitcoin and see if they're there. I mean, they're there, but they're not there in full force. Sorry, guys, I got to mute this for a second. All right, sorry guys about that. Let's see, what am I missing here? Yeah, so it didn't sustain that nice upward move that it was starting to. And let's go ahead and get back to BTC. Yeah, it's going to have a lot of fake out upticks. And that's really the scary part about some of these upticks. Now, if they're just gradually grinding down and then it levels off and you start to see the curl almost like a half a circle, then you know what, this is the time for me to get in. But when it drops, heavily and then it just upticks, I mean, this one candlestick, these are 15-minute candlesticks. So this really one big candlestick here has engulfed almost an hour's worth of trading, price action movement. That's way too high, and it didn't need that type of uptick. And of course, and if it gets that type of uptick, people are going to start chasing it, thinking, okay, you know what, this is the time for me to get in. This is a perfect opportunity. But we know it's just it's a complete fake out. So we'll see if this thing will retest that 2052 again. And I would love to get an entry under 2000. But with this crazy volatility, it's not something I'm going to hold overnight. And if I do plan on holding it, I'm probably not going to get any sleep at all. Logan, welcome, buddy. Somebody was asking about if anybody was from the UK. I kind of forget who that was asking that question. Dave, yeah, so, and I don't know if I'm getting to this question late because I mean, there's just a good amount of comments that are coming through and I'm not able to keep up with them, which is a great problem to have. But yeah, click on our link to our website that's on the bottom of this video, and then just go ahead and put your information in, and then somebody will reach out to you in regards to signing up for the general chat. And then once you're in that general chat, you can definitely upgrade your general chat to the actual traders room chat. And I explain, what to do. Just leave some comments. If you have some positive testimonials, positive things that you took away from these live streams, definitely, leave that comment on there. Yeah, Dave, if you're able to catch some of these dips, and I mean, sometimes, it might just be a 15-minute type of trade or a 10-minute type of trade, or it might be a type of trade where you just kind of, bought it at, let's just say 2060. You hold your breath. Once you need to breathe, hit the sell button, and you'd be out close to you know, where this big candlestick topped off at. But yeah, any type of trades in this type of market, really it's in and out unless you're just gonna buy it and not even look at it, because eventually it will go up. You know, it is gonna go up. It's not gonna just stay at this bottom barrel. I think BTC has proven itself over and over again, that it will never die, and it'll have little corrections, major corrections. It'll bottom out, but it'll make it right back up. Tracy, yeah, a lot of these moves, it's pump and dump. It's big chat rooms, it's big groups that are pumping it, and there are just so many different ways of being able to pump something and get it to move to your direction. Yeah, always take smaller losses, Dave. Yeah, never take a 30% dump unless you plan on holding it. I mean, if you plan on holding it, I mean, why even worry about it and look at the price action? Bob, yes, that was you. If there were any UK users. But yeah, Logan's from the UK, so I don't know what issue you were having, but maybe he could answer that question for you. Patrick, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you telling everybody to subscribe to Crypto Traders Room. And yeah, man, enjoy your day, bud. Happy trading. Yeah, we've been getting a good amount of people that want to sign up for that general chat, so that's a good thing. So Logan, I don't know if you're still on, but yeah, if you could answer that for Bob, because Bob is from the UK, and I think Bob, from what I remember, you're attempting to use Coinbase. Correct me if I'm wrong. Liam, welcome. I always say, it's great to see new names on here, and I appreciate you leaving a comment. And that's a very good comment. And basically, Liam is stating that whales are pumping to facilitate a dump from a greater price, overall maxing the profit during a crash, monitor and sell Ethereum during a rebound candle, and then buy back next week when it kind of the dust settles. And that's if the dust settles next week. I hope the dust does settle, and this doesn't just continue on a long run of being basically a bearish market. I mean, hopefully it doesn't do this for weeks or months. But yeah, but there's going to be tons of whales and tons of other groups that are pumping this, that are shorting at the top, and they're just adding to their short position at every uptick, which causes a more of a decline. Do I think BTC puts another leg up past 3,000? Yeah, it definitely could. I don't know if it's going to do it now with this major selling that's happening, but if it gradually, slowly but surely moves up and then has a nice little correction, but then consolidates and moves sideways and then has a nice uptick, if those are the type of moves we're going to get, yeah, 3,000 is definitely in sight. But if we're having these violent up and down swings, then yeah, definitely not. I mean, these are just major swings on the 15-minute candlestick. I mean, this is not a healthy retracement. This is beyond healthy retracement. Yeah, Bob, I'm sorry you're having that issue, bud. Yeah, I would just be careful with local Bitcoins. I've heard stories, and I think some of the stories were on Reddit, where people were basically being robbed So I would definitely meet. I would meet in a well-populated place. I think the one guy basically got robbed Starbucks or something to that extent. All right, I think I caught up to all the messages. If I did miss something, I do apologize. But let's see what BTC is doing. Probably gonna have to look at the 30-minute chart. All right, got close to that level. That level was 2,000. So if we do dip another 300 bucks, I mean, it'll easily touch that 2,000. And from that 2,000, really, it depends on what that price action is going to do. Is it going to bounce back? Is it going to consolidate? Or is it just going to blow through the 2,000? Excuse me. And if it blows through that 2,000, that 1,800, that's going to be in sight. Let's see if that's what I put down. Like the 1850-ish. 1875, 1850-ish. But I would say more of the 1850. And I'm surprised I didn't see this earlier. So let me put another, I'll make it a triple double line. All right, so the reason why I kind of picked that 1840, between 1840 and 1830 is because of a couple spots. Of course, here, that was a prior resistance. It broke through the resistance, but it didn't break through it and keep going up. It retraced right back down. And when it really broke the prior resistance, which it was attempting to form a new support, let me put a circle there. And then I'll kind of zoom into it. So that 1840, 1850, it attempted to, well, broke above it to 1899, but it didn't maintain that as a new support line, as a strong support line. So what it ended up doing was coming down to it and really breaking it. It didn't go sideways too much. And when it broke it, it attempted to break above it again, and of course it got rejected. So that kind of tells me that the prior resistance that it was attempting to make a new support is actually a harder resistance, and it's going to have a hard time breaking out above that. And that's exactly what it did. It tried to break out, got close to it, got pushed down to 1610. And then again, when it tried to break out above it, it couldn't. It got pushed down again. So those are really two spots that it got pushed down on. So then if we kind of scroll up here, and I'll put another circle in this spot, where basically it came up to it and attempted to break out above it, but then turned it into more of a consolidation. And for some reason, I can't put a circle there. But considering it made that a consolidation, dipped below it a little bit, and then really broke out above it, that's kind of where I got up to that 2800. That's going to be really the support that I would be looking at if this thing was to really tank. That would be a good support for it to get down to and bounce back up. I think anything below, that 1900 will be a safe spot for me to take a position in, and not, maybe buy a half or a quarter of a Bitcoin, whatever it might be. More likely a half or to one Bitcoin. But then if it breaks that and starts really going down and getting to that 1725, 1600, that could be the bottom. But that 1830, 1850 level is going to be key to see if it actually maintains that. All right, so hopefully I didn't miss too many questions, but I will try to get to those. But yeah, they're all maintaining this current trend, and it's the same trend. they're all making new lows and pulling up just a little bit. I wouldn't be tricked into getting in at this point, to be honest with you. This just indicates to me that there's more of a downtrend that's going to happen. But if I was a new trader, kind of looking at this, I would be like, okay, this is a spot where it's consolidating. This is a spot where there's support because it's not really swinging up and down. Let me get in at this point, and then it just completely turns. But it's gonna break that 2000. It is, and when it did it before, it was 1975, and when it broke that it broke 2000. It came down to 1975, and it came down to 1975 very quick. And where was that at? That was right here, this candlestick. So we got four. Well, let me switch the chart. We'll do a 1 hour. So here we go. So basically, 1 hour candlestick, 4 hours. Let's just say 5 hours. Within 5 hours, it had broke through the 2000. But that support was there, and that support was heavy. Because I don't think that was really that much of a sell-off. We didn't have up and down swings prior to that happening, but prior to these up and down swings, or prior to its current price right now, having these crazy wild up and down swings, it'll be easy for this thing to hit 2000 and just completely break through it as stop losses are being taken out. And that's where that really 1850, 1830 is going to really be a great indicator. Okay, you know what? That's a bottom. And it all depends how it reacts to that exact price point. If it, in my opinion, if it hits it and then comes up violently, it means that yes, there are a lot of people supporting it. But then, profit takers are going to step in and actually get it to drop even below that price, as they're looking to lock in the profits on that little spike up. So anybody that bought it pretty high and it spikes up to that 1830, I mean, they're panicking and they're waiting for any type of uptick. And if it does uptick, I mean, this thing could easily uptick, $250, $300 easily. So once it breaks, if it hits that 1850 and basically regains its momentum and gets above, 21, 22, that's the point that it's going to have another major sell-off. Because, if I was in this at a high price and it dropped, I would be looking for a nice uptick to be able to get out. All right, let me see if I can get to some of these questions. A lot of comments, and thank you so much for leaving them. I do appreciate it. Fahad, welcome, buddy. What is the reason behind the big dump? Do I think it'll recover? Yeah, it'll recover. It's just a matter of, where's the bottom? Where is the complete bottom where, anybody that's selling doesn't have anything to sell, and now they're just buying, or, or the selling really intensifies because there's just tons of people that still have tons to sell. So this is a kind of a seller's market. It's almost like buying a house. And that's the process I'm going through right now. I'm dealing with a seller's market, and sellers are bringing down Bitcoin and just about every cryptocurrency you can think of. But for the charts to be identical, especially with Bitcoin Classic, Ethereum, I'm sorry, with Bitcoin Classic, with Ethereum Classic, Ethereum, and BTC, for those charts to be identical, I mean, if you really take those charts on the same time frame and overlap them, you're going to basically get the same trend. So this is just basically, it's a coordinated attack. All three should not be hitting their lows at the same exact time, and then having nice spikes up and then getting back down to another low at the same exact time. So these are just coordinated attacks that are basically happening. Yeah, a lot of people with big money, dumping, or possibly shorting. I mean, they could have sold their long position at 2,700 and then shorted at 2,800. All right, so a lot of comments, and I'm trying to get to all of them. Yeah, Dave. People that bought low are taking profits. Exactly right. Especially if they didn't take profits at 2,800, and they were huge in the profit, they're going to take profit on every little uptick, and that's just what causing it to really crash. Big sellers as well as retail investors, retail traders like myself, um, that had a bigger profit and they didn't lock it in. They're going to lock it in on an uptick. Yeah, for it to really have this type of a downtrend, who's asking about a short term drop. Fahad, that was you. So yeah, I mean, this is definitely a short-term drop. This is not a long-term drop. If it was a long-term drop, they would slowly but surely walk it down with little candlesticks on the daily or the 1 hour candlesticks. These 1 hour candlesticks are massive, and that only happens on a massive drop, and then come right back up. But if it was just grinding down slowly, I mean, we wouldn't think anything about it really having a major correction. And it's good to have these major corrections because it really gives some of us that are not in Bitcoin the opportunity to get in. But it's definitely exciting times, to try to find an entry. I mean, definitely put in a low ball offer before you guys go to bed. Um, I mean, just make it low, to be honest with you. I don't know how low I'll make mine, maybe 1750, 1725, maybe 1600. I guess it all depends what the price is before I go to bed. If the price is at 2000, I'm definitely not going to make it 1700 because it's more likely going to execute. I might just, make it $500 cheaper than that, make it 1500. But yeah, those low ball offers that end up executing, when you're sleeping can definitely pay off. And you got to make sure to make it low ball. I mean, be greedy with that offer. Don't be modest. Yeah, Dave, you're absolutely right about investors. Yeah, they're not looking at this price action candlesticks. They're looking at a regular chart that just kind of gives them the trend, the overall trend of how it's trending. They can care less about candlesticks and what those candlesticks kind of represent. Yeah, and that's usually the name of the game. Buy low, sell high. Um, as long as you can pick out where the high is and actually kind of take the emotions out of trading and get out, instead of holding on thinking it would go up higher, because I'm sure a lot of people thought, what, 3000 is going to hit it. We didn't think it would break 2000, and it broke 2000 and just completely skyrocketed. It's going to hit that 3000 in a matter of a couple hours or a day. And they might have bought it 2700 or 2750. Yeah, Liam, dude, that is a great comment that you left on there. BTC market flooded over the last month by inexperienced traders buying just as it hit an all-time high. Whales are probably manipulating, so the knobs panic and sell, and the whales buy back and cheat. Just my view, and that view, you're 100% on point, brother. You couldn't have said it any better, and that's usually the name of the game. And you got to know that type of manipulation that happens. And inexperienced traders, I mean, like I said, mass media. It was all over the news. Mass media that would probably not cover Bitcoin because, or even cryptocurrency, because they're basically covering the traditional financial market. But when it starts making all-time highs, they start covering it. They start talking about it, and the more they talk about it, the more inexperienced traders kind of pile in and being like, "Oh, this is a great opportunity." On YouTube, they're saying it's going to go to 5,000, 10,000. I mean, don't get me wrong; it could definitely get there, but it's not going to get there anytime soon. But within a couple years, yeah, that's definitely a possibility. But yeah, it's inexperienced traders piling in, fear of missing out, and just causing that price to increase as the people that bought really cheap were just kind of sitting there and laughing and being like, yeah, let's just see how high they'll take this. Yeah, Fahad, trading is very risky and it's very stressful, to be honest with you, especially if you're going to bed with an open position. You really don't know what's going to happen. It's 24/7. It never sleeps. So yeah, it's definitely risky. The best thing to do is when these alts kind of bottom out, is to find your favorite alt and put a little bit of your capital into it and sit on it, because over time they will go up, and that's exactly what we've seen. Knobwell hybrids too. It's the big bulls that are basically trapped in the little bulls. And that's exactly what they were doing when it was getting up to 2,800. There was no way I was going to buy at 2,800. I'm happy for the people that bought it low and made some great profits. But yeah, myself, there was no way I was going to get into it at that price. Fahad, not a problem, buddy. Not a problem. Yeah, let me know where you guys are from too. I'm always curious to find out exactly where a lot of the live stream viewers are from. Yeah, Bob, thank you for joining, man. Definitely share your experience. Leave a comment when this video is uploaded. Share your experience with us, man. It's a great testimonial for other people that are watching the videos after the fact, to read some of the comments. Gollum is getting listed on Coinbase. I don't know about that, buddy. Wishful thinking, Liam. There was rumor, but I think it was one of the Coinbase employees um, that was developing something for Gollum. It might have been an app, but yeah, it's not going to be listed on there. Not anytime soon. Never say never, but at this moment, I don't think they are. I mean, look how long it took them just to get Litecoin on Coinbase. I mean, they had it on GDAX, but on Coinbase, it took them forever. Yeah, I don't know what could be the next Bitcoin, to be honest with you, too. I mean, there's so many cryptocurrencies out there now. I mean, close to 750. It's kind of hard to pick out what's going to be the next Bitcoin. Is there really any competition to Bitcoin? Is there any competition to Dash? Is there any competition to Ethereum? Maybe Ethereum Classic is a competition to Ethereum, but that's about it. But yeah, as long as they don't have competition, these altcoins that don't have any competition at all, there aren't any other altcoins that are basically doing the same thing that they're doing, they're copycats, then yeah, I mean, they could definitely do well. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest with you, as Bitcoin is going up to 5,000. I wouldn't be surprised if Ethereum is gearing up or breaking above 500 and gearing up to hit 750 to 1,000. I would not be surprised at all. All right, guys, I got about 10 minutes on this live stream, and then I got to take care of my kids. But let me know if you have any questions. I'll try to do my best to answer them. If you do have any comments that you want to leave at the end of this video, please do so. And then I will do my best to get to those comments. And don't forget to leave a comment and have all your friends and families like that comment, so you actually win a free membership to our actual traders chat room that we have. But if you just want access to our regular water cooler chat room that we have going on, definitely at the bottom of this video there is a link to sign up for that mailing list, and just or you can just go to CryptoTradersRoom.com. Montana, nice. That's awesome. I was actually thinking Colorado for some apparent reason. Rocky Mountain, high speed. But welcome from Montana. I think I missed some of those comments, but let's see. 1450, is that your prediction? 1450 on Bitcoin. You never know. You never know, to be honest with you. If it hits that 1975 that it just touched a couple days ago, and it levels out at that 1975, you're absolutely right. What's to say that it's not going to drop another $325? It could easily do it. So yeah, that 1500 really, I mean, Rocky Mountain, it's not far fetched. It is not far fetched at all. I mean, it's got to break some resistance to get to that level. Or I'm sorry, it's got to break some support to get to that level. But it's definitely doable. Especially if it's having, if it's going to move the way that it's basically moved for this day and a half or 2 days. That's very doable. You have 1 million Sia coin. Nice. The solo runner, welcome. Yeah, man, I hope Sia coin hits $1 for you. For latest crypto news, YouTube really, to be honest with you. I mean, there's some great YouTubers out there, and definitely follow the good ones. But crypto what is it? Cryptocurrency Market Watch. You can kind of let's actually look at that real quick before I end this live stream, because they do offer a good amount of information on just about every cryptocurrency, but you kind of have to click on the link. So under cryptocurrency market cap, I mean, it doesn't really matter what cryptocurrency you click on, but let's just say Monero. If you click on Monero, you can get basically their website, their message board. The message board is probably the best place to get information, announcements, the social media sites. But yeah, I don't think they're, not that I know of, unless you guys know of any, where there's an all-in-one website that will give you information about cryptocurrencies and just not news in general. Also, one thing to check out is, I mean, I haven't really looked at it in a while, but CoinDesk, CoinDesk.com is not a bad site at all, or BTCnews.com or news.btc. Liam, I mean, that's a very good question. You're asking about any candle patterns to look at that indicate manipulation. Not really that indicate manipulation. I mean, you can kind of look at the candlesticks and try to determine the trend of it. You can look at certain patterns like the inverted head and shoulder, which would indicate there's going to be an uptick, possibly uptick. It's not 100%. So don't really rely on these indicators as like kind of like the crystal ball to the right movement, because it's not a crystal ball, to be honest with you. But I mean, or even if you see a head and shoulder, usually head and shoulder, they're called head and shoulder fake because they'll form the head, they'll form the shoulder, and then they'll just fake you out, and they'll have a major dip. And when I mean head and shoulder, let's actually look at this a little granular. And there's a possibility that BTC could form a head and shoulder. On the 15-minute chart, we'll take a look at it. Let me get rid of some of these circles and indicators that I already have, trend lines. But if BTC was to really make a move up, it's probably going to have a hard time. I got to be able to put circles in here. So there's a head there. I'm sorry, there's a shoulder. Let's see if I can put another circle where the head is. There's a head. So let's just say BTC from its current level right now, 23.27, makes it back up to 25.92. At 25.92 is going to give it a hard time because that's really where the shoulder is going to be forming in the head and shoulder pattern, head and shoulder fake, basically. So if it does get up to that level, there are going to be a lot of traders that are probably going to be selling, indicating, okay, you know what, if it levels out there, I'm out, because that's basically the shoulder. We have a head and shoulder pattern. There's going to be more downside to this. That's a possibility. Head and shoulders are more predictable on a larger time frame than they are on a smaller time frame. But traders do look at that as well too. So basically, a head and shoulder fake for the downside, inverted head and shoulder for the upside, cup and handles. And there's a couple different patterns that you can look at. But for manipulation, you got to definitely look at the order book. The order book will tell you exactly where buyers and sellers are stacked up. Now, there could be a big buyer or a big seller that's sitting on the sideline waiting to hit that market buy order, or they'll put in a limit order right there and then. You don't really know where they are. But looking at the order book, you can tell exactly at what price point are buyers and sellers stacked up. What is the depth chart looking like? But you also, when you're looking at Coinbase, and we've done this in the past, and Logan's Run can attest to this, is when I first started doing the live streams, and you can probably go back and watch them, as long as the audio and the video were good. Back then, they weren't that great. But we were able to spot one trader had a basically large sell order of 1,000. I think it might have been Ethereum's large sell order of 1,000. I mean, that's huge. And then basically what they were doing was trying to get the price to go up to their sell price. So they had a large buy order of about 1,000. And what they were doing was just basically moving that buy order up and down to try to get people to think, oh, that's a big support. Let me hop in front of them before they get the price to go up. And what do you know? More people are hopping on top of that $1,000 buy order. And once it gets up to the sell order of that 1,000 Ethereum that they're looking to sell to that price point, then they take off their buy order. But yeah, so when I'm looking at those types of manipulation, I'll look and see where's that buy order in comparison to the current price. Is that buy order closer to execution? If it is, more likely it's not a manipulation, it's not a fake wall, it's a real wall. But if that wall is way below that actual price of the current price of that cryptocurrency, and you just see people that are hopping on top of them to try to get their trade executed before that big order goes through, then I'll kind of, I'll look at it and say, okay, you know what, that could be a manipulation because it's so far from its current price that it can't be executed at this time. So I'll keep an eye out on that order. And as the price gets close to that order to see, okay, did they take it off or did they keep it on there? If they take it off, it's a fake wall. If they keep it on there, they're interested. They're legit buyers. They're looking to buy at that specific price. So you really got to look at the order book on how trades are stacked up. All right, I had to make sure I wasn't on mute after explaining that. But I'm going to get to a couple more comments, and then I do have to end this live stream, and I do apologize. I mean, I wish I could do this 24/7. Solar runners from the UK, nice. We got a couple people from the UK. Dave from Canada. Yeah, the cryptoverse isn't bad. BTC sessions isn't bad either. Let's see. Solar runner. If you ask him where I'm from the States. Little place called, well, I should say little, a state called Pennsylvania. History repeats itself. I like that name. And candlesticks and patterns definitely repeat themselves. Smart contracts on BTC offered at RSK could be a competition for Ethereum. Possibly. I mean, there's a lot of things that are in competition for BTC or ETC. I don't think half of them will survive. But that's good news to know that they are offering smart contracts on BTC. Yeah, Logan, UK has taken over this live stream. I think that's the most from one place. Something called Byteball. Yeah, I've heard of Byteball. I haven't really analyzed Byteball though. And it's $300 already. Interesting. I think Gigabytes was up there. That was pretty high at one point. Yeah, Namish, not a problem, man. I'm glad you learned a lot. And please feel free to leave a comment. When this video uploads, definitely want to see some people win that membership to our free chat. Sorry, I can't even speak. To our free chat room. So I will definitely remember you. 100,000 is out there. It'll take me a while to get there. Baby steps, baby steps. I was excited to break 500 and broke 600. So I don't know if it's at 700 now or close to it. I think I was only 15 subscribers away from 700. But it'll get there. It'll get there. It'll take time. Yeah, Tracy, I mean, there's going to be a huge learning curve to just about anything, and you really got to take it day by day. You know, when I first started trading, it was a huge learning curve for me, and there's no way that you can learn everything at once. That's really the best way of overwhelming yourself and not really enjoying trading or enjoying reading candlesticks, things like that. You got to really do it because you're passionate about it, because you love it. Don't do it for the money. I've previously talked about it. You know, when I first started live streaming, it was just a passion of mine that I loved doing. And then it kind of turned into me making money out of it. And I was like, oh, this is great. I can make money out of something that I love to do. Yeah, green light, man. It's not a problem. And yeah, I mean, you know, my moderators are on this. Thank you so much for answering some of these questions. ECS, you're on here, and I am surprised that I have not added you as a moderator yet. But there you go. You're officially a moderator as of right now, or at least you should be. All right, I'm going to try to get through these comments real quick, and then unfortunately, I do have to go. Uh-oh, Texas might take over the stream. We got 2 people from Texas. You just need 2 more. Yeah, you're right. It's about time. And I completely overlooked it. You know, I don't know why I didn't add ECS as a moderator. That should have been added months ago. So my apologies, ECS. Danny Baker, though, he might lose his moderator status. Actually, he's in Thailand. All right, so I'll give him a hall pass on that one. He is out of the country. But let me know, guys, if you do have any questions, please leave the comments at the end of this video. This video will be uploaded automatically by YouTube, usually within about a minute or so after the live stream ends. If you haven't done so already, please click on that thumbs up, especially if you found this information helpful, and sign up for our chat room. And you can easily do that by going to CryptoTradersRoom.com. It's our mailing list, and then we'll be sending out information on our general chat room. And then you definitely have the option to be able to upgrade that. But one of the best ways to upgrade it is leave a comment at the end of this video, have your friends and families like it. You know, tweet this out to your friends and families as well too, to all your followers. But also look us up on Steemit, Twitter, Facebook. I am actively posting stuff on Steemit as of right now, especially posting the videos that are from here onto that. So that's going to be a very active channel. But like I said, if you have any questions, please leave them at the end of this video, and I will do my best to get to them. And don't forget to have your friends and families click on that thumbs up, so you actually get the free membership to our Slack chat room. But thank you so much for joining. I know this was kind of spur of the moment type of live stream, but I will try to do these more often if time permits. And there is crazy action that's happening within the market. But guys, be very careful with your trades. I mean, that's really all that I can say. This is not a healthy market at this moment. This is not something where you can just buy and hold, especially if you're a day trader. If you're looking to make a little bit of money, you know, buy the dips and then it rips up a little bit, sell it, wait for another dip. But yeah, just don't hold too long, especially if you're a trader and not long-term investor. Long-term investors, you know, they're not even looking at this. But as a day trader, and that's all you're looking to do, you got to protect those profits and not go to bed with an open position. So with that being said, happy trading, happy weekend until Monday, or you know maybe we'll do another live stream on Sunday depending on price action. But worst case scenario, it'll be Monday that I'll be doing a live stream. But thank you so much for joining. I do appreciate it. Enjoy your weekend. Actually, Matt, welcome, buddy, and thank you for leaving that comment. You know how you basically love the crypto trading channel. So thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. As soon as I saw that comment, I had to kind of get back on air. And thank you for that comment. So thank you so much.